Hey guys, welcome back. Today's class, similar to the last one, is going to be a little bit more exploratory. So the focus of today is finding a 5-rep max for 3 different skills. So with a lot of our programs, you're required to know what your 3-rep max is, 5-rep max, 8-rep, 12-rep, 20-rep, and so on. But if you have the 5-rep hard set for the various different skills, then it's pretty easy to estimate the relative intensities for the other ranges. So if you can find your 5 reps today, then you know if you're doing 8 reps, you probably have to go a bell size down from that. If you're doing 12 rep max, another bell size down, and so on. So we're going to do kettlebell front squat, we're going to do single arm press, and then pull up variation. If you have rings, it's going to be super helpful. I'm going to go through some of the assisted pull-up variations there, and hopefully we can find a hard set of 5 for you guys, okay? So first things first, we're going to work our squats. If you know probably what your 5RM is, then we'll shoot for that. If not, we're going to do probably like 3 working or warm-up sets, to get to the weight that we're going to use. So I'm going to be getting out a lot of different bells here. Nothing like iron when it's freezing in here. I don't even have chalk on yet. My hands are still too cold. So contrary to popular belief, when you're working up to a working set, you don't have to do a ton of reps. You should have already done some sort of warm-up before starting today. This is the lightest weight that I'm going to use, so probably going to do slightly higher reps for that first set, but then as I'm working up to the weight, I might only do sets of 2 to 3 reps to find my working weight, and then we'll try and hit a set of 5 there. Don't be afraid to take rest, because if you're cranking out your warm-up sets, you're going to be pretty tired as the weights are getting heavier. So first set, I'll probably go somewhere 6 to 8. And what the hell, I'll just keep a bunch of bells out. All right, wait a little bit. So next set, I'm just going to go like 3 reps. We're just trying to work our way up there. Find where the right intensity is for a specific range. So this can be kind of like an exploratory session, or if you have your program and you have a relatively low volume, like maybe you only have 10 reps total in your 5RM intensity zone that day, then you could go through all this and then hit your working reps after. But for the purpose of today, I'm just finding that 5RM. Just gonna try to hit it once and then move on. Oh, it's so cold in here. That does not help. All right, again, I'm just gonna try and go for 3 or so. You should know relatively what your goal is, so I would say 3-ish working sets. Barbell's a different story because you might have to go up a lot further, but 3 to 4 working sets should get you to arrive at your weight. So if you think your 5-rep max is maybe with the 32s, then maybe you start with the 20s. You go set with the 20s, 24s, 28s if you have them, and then 32. If you think your 5-rep max is with the 16s, start with 8 kilo, set with 10, set with 12, or if you have 14s, and then try and hit your set with the 16s. But if you know your max is pretty high, if you think your 5-rep max is double 36s, it doesn't really make sense to start with double 8 kilos and do a set at every single weight, because then you'll be extremely tired by the time you get to your estimated 5RM. All right, I think this is mine. The other interesting part of kettlebell front squat is you have to be able to clean them. So even if your legs can squat them, it doesn't matter if you can't get it into position. So this is going to be my test weight. I'm going to try and do 5 with this weight. I think that's probably it. Maybe if I had a little kettlebell tag magnet, I could maybe go 2 kilo higher, but pretty positive I can only get about 3 with the double 28. So that's what we're looking at. 5RM right now, double 24s. So work that into the program next number of months, and then the goal is to try and get that into the 8RM zone, and then we'll go from there. Cool? Okay, got all the bells out. So hopefully you guys found a new 5RM, or maybe you just established one that you thought was there and it's still there. Next, we're going to go single arm press. So maybe I'll just go through these again, except I know that I can't do 5 with the 24 on both arms. So I'm probably shooting for my 20 kilo, 5 strict on each side. I'm going to start with the 14. If you don't have that many bells, you can also just do a couple sets with whatever you have, if you don't have enough to go up every single pair, if you will. So for instance here, I'm just going to go 1 set of 5 on each, and then with the 16s, maybe I'll hit like 2 sets of 3 or 4, and then we'll go for that working weight. Let's go 6. Other side. I just did a shoulder-focused FRC class, so shoulders are definitely tired, but do our best. Okay. So good clean is going to set you up for a good press. So make sure your cleans are as smooth as possible before you press. The breathing, hard style, if you will, likes to accentuate exhale as you press. If you're doing more sports style, it's actually the opposite. So I've done both breathing styles. They both work fine. Just try to pick one and repeat it each rep. Okay? So let's go for 4. Your next weight. If you need to take 30 to 60 seconds between sides, that's fine too. All right, I'm going to stick with this weight. We'll do one more set. We'll just do 3, and then we'll try and hit our 5 RM, 5 repetition maximum. Put my toes in front of the heater. This platform is cold. The joys of garage training. But honestly, I wouldn't rather train anywhere else, so it does the job. It's open 24 hours. No one's going to be using my equipment. It's great. 3 reps. Because we're going to test next. Let's wait a minute or so, and then we will take a nice rest in between the right and left side when we're testing. If you need some chalk, you can get that. So cold, so cold. Have your little mental checklist. If you're doing a strict press, you want to crush that handle. So ballistics, jerks, push press, grip's a little different. Strict press, you want all the tension. Crush the handle, squeeze your other fist. Do whatever you need to do to get it overhead. All right, we'll get set. All right, we'll take about a minute and we'll do the other side. Go with the lowest common denominator. So for me, like, I'm pretty sure I can get 5 on the right, the next bell up, but we're gonna go with the weakest link. So I'm gonna try and find what I can do 5 with on my non-dominant side, and that's gonna be the working weight. Technically, I guess you could sub it in. You could get 2 different bells, but I would rather just keep it consistent and try and catch this side up to this side instead of making this one exponentially stronger. So depends on what the goal is. Everyone's a little different. All right, we'll try the other side. So 5 on lefty, pretty tough. So that's my working weight for this zone. So we found it. Success. All right, the last drill we're gonna do is for pull-ups or pull-up variations. So if you have rings, this is gonna be awesome. If you don't have rings or a pull-up bar, you can search for your 5 rep max with any type of horizontal pulling. So a row, you can do a kettlebell row. You can do it in the deadlift position here. You could do it split stance. Doesn't really matter, but same kind of focus as we've done with the squat and the press. Try to find 3 to 4 different weights that you can use to work up to your estimated 5 RM, and then we'll get a set there. If you have rings or pull-up bar, let's do that. If you have the rings, you want to have them at the height of your collarbone when you're on your toes, so that we can get the full range of motion for this movement. This is the optimal way to get a pull-up, in my opinion. So what you do is you start with both legs assisting you to do a pull-up. So you start all the way down in a squat position. I'm right under the rings here, and I can fully extend my arms, okay? So I'm gonna use assistance from both my legs. My hands are facing out. As I pull up, they're going to turn in so I can get that full range. All right, so I'll try and get 5 here. Cool? So that'll be our first progression. Maybe you did 5 rows on each side with a light weight. You could do more than 5. You could probably do up to 8. But then our next few sets, we'll just try to hit 3 or 4. So the next progression, if you're doing the rings, is using one leg for assistance on the way up and down. You could do one progression in between this, which would be 2 legs on the way up, 1 leg on the way down. I'll let you guys kind of play with that on your own time. So if I'm here, I'm going to start with 1 leg out. Cool? So that should feel a little harder than 2 legs. We'll take a little rest. And we'll do one more progression, which is going to be, let's see, I always feel like the eccentric is a little harder, so we'll try to do 0 legs on the way up, but then you're going to add assistance on the way down. And we could try both, actually, it's fine. So let's do concentric assistance first. I'm just mixing it all up here. So you're going to use your leg to pull up. Then you're going to bring them up, lower down. Cool? One more. All right. We'll wait a little bit. And we'll try pulling up with no help, and then having a foot on the way down. And we'll just try 2 to 3 reps there, just to feel it out. So this actually becomes more difficult because your knees are bent, but okay. So there's so many different variations that you can use to work up to a standard chin-up or pull-up. And then if you know you've been working the rings a while, you think you can get 5 tactical pull-ups, hands over top, thumbs over top, then we'll go for that. So we'll take a little rest, and then you're gonna pick your 5 RM and try that. So your 5 RM could be any one of those variations that we just went through. You'll just try and do a hard set of 5. If you can get 5 chin-ups, we're gonna try that. 5 pull-ups. If you can bang out pull-ups, you could try 5 weighted pull-ups. If you have a weight belt, hook a bell onto it. Just find wherever you're at. Wait until about 27 minutes. And I'm gonna try 5 pull-ups. Should be able to get this, but you never know. I'm a bit sore, it's the end of the week. All right. So you can use a box. I'm gonna try to jump up. That was the only part I wish I had chalk. My hands were kind of slipping. Okay, guys. So that is kind of how you spend time finding the correct intensity for a given RM. Arguably, this is one of the most important things that you can do. If you're following a plan, you want to make sure if you're working different intensity zones that you have the right weight for each zone. If it's not challenging enough, it's going to take you longer to see the results that you might be looking for. If it's too hard, then you're going to be upset because all your sets will suck, your form will suck, and it will just overall not feel good. So it's really important to find the correct challenging weight for you in a given zone, and 5 RM is like really the most accessible way to do that. You don't have to max out, you're still working hard, and then you can base the math off of where your 5 RM is. Okay, so if you have questions, shoot us a note. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye.